Hi, you all. It's Regina again. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Regina, and I blog over at byregina.com. I help creative business owners, bloggers, and freelancers help establish their business and just spread their message online, create community, and really be effective with their brand. So that's how my whole blog and service business is set up. And today we are doing a live hangout on air to talk about how to write a freelance business plan. Okay, I think it's something that's super important. And before I get started, I want to actually direct you to the materials for today, just in case you didn't already grab them. And so I'm going to screen share with you and show you how to get those materials. Okay, so first off, what you'd want to do is head to byregina.com/FBP. F as in freelance, B as in business, P as in plan. If you go there, it's going to redirect you to a Google Doc. And you can either copy and paste this into your own document or just print this out and take notes on it, whatever you prefer. But this is what you should be seeing for our call, or well, whatever this is, a webinar, I guess. So that's the plan that you'll need. It's a template, and I will show you some other resources throughout the call, some things that you can download. But anyway, if you are watching live, you're able to ask questions of me as I go, so don't be afraid to pop a question out. It's kind of informal like that, and I will try to get to all the questions tonight. So anyway, why a freelance business plan? So I think the reason it is so important is because it is a document that you can come back to each week or each month and really start to, I guess it's a roadmap for your business. It helps you avoid pitfalls. It helps you budget so you're not overspending. There are just so many purposes for a business plan, and I find it's hard to just kind of flail without one. It kind of shows you what you can be doing in your slow periods in business, even though there really is never a slow period. There's always something you can be doing, content you can be creating, or future plans that you can be getting to. And so that's why a business plan is so important, because it's this one central document that you can always come back to make sure you're on track with your business. Okay, so really quickly, you can approach this video, this plan, this training one of two ways. Well, if you're watching it live, really only one. First option would be to print this out and take notes as we go. If you're watching this after and it's a recording, you could always pause after we talk about a section and then actually complete it and then play the video again. Okay, so whichever method you go with, I'm really excited that you guys are creating these now. And I, for tonight, will be using a fictional business called Regina Writes PR. Okay, so it's a fictional PR firm that I'm going to use in a few of the examples. So let's just say that it's a freelance PR firm that helps female authors, just get their message out there. Okay, let's do it. So the first section of the freelance business plan, if you're looking, and I hope you have that template up either in a separate window or you have it printed out. First section is your brand summary. Okay, 1.1 is your vision statement. This should be one sentence, maybe to one paragraph. And it should be practical but inspirational. And there are a few things that you should answer with your vision statement, okay? So you want to answer the who do I serve? You want to answer the why does this business exist? Where, as in where do I see this business going in the future? And then you want to answer the what are my long-term values? No one else has to see this statement of yours. You can completely keep this to yourself. So it's more about being honest and answering these questions as best you can for your own benefit. You don't have to publish these on your website. You can, but you don't have to. Okay. So for my fictional PR firm, my vision statement might be something like, Regina Writes PR lives to help female authors with their online presence. We want to be the premier online destination for women who want to increase the visibility of their books and brand. Okay, so that answered the who, why, where I see the business going, being the premier destination, so on and so forth. Okay, and again, the statement is just for you, so really kind of keep it in mind that you can be completely honest here. Where do you really see this going? All right. So section 1.2 is your mission statement. I always like to write the vision statement first because it provides the overall view, whereas the mission statement is kind of like the practical, how are we going to make this overall view happen, okay? So 1.2 now, section 1.2, the mission statement, it should be 1 to 2 sentences. So this one needs to be a little more succinct, probably, than your vision statement. It's okay if it's not. But what you want to do with a mission statement, okay, is differentiate yourself from all the other freelancers and creative businesses out there who serve the same audience you identified in your vision statement, okay? So with this, you're gonna be answering how will I practically accomplish my vision, and also what are my responsibilities to my clients, okay? So for my PR company, I might say something like, each author on our team receives beautifully designed social media images and digital book flyers, as well as a modern and non-traditional website and marketing plan to promote their works. We specialize in helping introverts sell their brand through compelling content and key media placements, okay? So I'm being more specific. I have this great, grand, overall vision, grandiose thing. How specifically am I gonna make that happen through all those materials that I just listed in my mission statement, okay? So you wanna be more specific. And this statement is more likely to be shared with people through your website, through your marketing materials, so on and so forth, okay? And let me know if you have any questions. I'll be checking in, all right? 1.3 is your culture statement. That can be a little bit confusing, but basically this statement should simply speak to the personality, the community, and any traditions that you want to establish with your brand. It's truly a statement on your culture. So if you have this kind of irreverent, snarky brand, then this would be the place to note that. So no matter what the personality of your brand is, put that in your culture statement and make sure that your website and all the materials that you're going to create in the future match that culture that you want. Or else maybe your culture statement needs to change, and maybe that's not really the culture you're trying to establish, okay? So any questions so far, just let me know. You can ask them on the side. So anyway, section 2, business goals. 2.1, and so you'll notice actually, you guys, with these first few sections, there's a little bit of explaining, a little bit of note-taking, but towards the end, it gets a little simpler, okay? So stick with me, we can do this. Freelance business plan. Think about this. After you're done, you'll have a business plan. So 2.1, objectives. What's important here is that your objectives / goals are attainable, but they still need to be able to stretch you. The other thing that's important, or other two things, are they need to be measurable and they need to be time specific. So my example for my firm might be that I need to get 30 female authors signed up on my email list in month 1 of my website going live, okay? This is measurable because I either got 30, or I got more than 30, or I didn't reach 30. So it's measurable, and there's a time frame on it in the first month of me being launched, okay? So I can definitely tell whether I met this goal or not. Another example might be getting 100 visits to my services page in month 1, or giving away 10 free consultations in the first 2 months. So just set 3 to 5 objectives that are measurable and time specific, okay? Make sure they make sense for your business and for the amount of time you have available for your business, so that you don't overwhelm yourself and so that you don't under expect from yourself either. That's not a word, whatever, let's flow with it, okay? Under expect, that's new. Anyway, section 2.2, keys to success. And I'll be checking in for questions after this. So now that you have these 3 to 5 objectives, what you want to do is write at least 3 corresponding things that need to happen in order for you to complete those objectives, okay? So this might be something like, for me, my fictional PR firm, establishing a following of female authors on Twitter by perhaps using the am writing hashtag. So maybe I would find them that way, or maybe I would search for people who've identified themselves as authors or writers in their bio, okay? This might also be something, a key to success might be participating in 1 Twitter chat per week for female authors, or researching and following people's writing boards on Pinterest, okay? And adding pins from my own blog posts that are related to writing, okay? So that might be another way that I would, that might be another way that I would reach my goals, reach my objectives, okay? So those would be keys to successfully completing those objectives, if that makes sense, all right? So that was section 2.2. The last thing in 2 is your future expansion goals, section 2.3. And so what you should really try and do with that section is literally just write out plans for any products or services or slight brand pivots that you have planned in the next year. Perhaps you'll start helping female bloggers as well as female authors, if we're doing my example. Or maybe you're going to offer social media management in addition to the PR services that you offer. So write out those plans, because when you check back over your business plan frequently, you're going to want to see that stuff. You're going to want to see that stuff in your document so that you're able to start building in everything it is that you need to in order to, you know, grow and stay on track with your business. Okay, so there's that. Anyway, section 3 is your customer summary section, and this is your place to really dive in deep to who your customers are and record that on paper. And I think it's super important. It's a great place to go back and read and refresh you on who your customers are. And I would seriously, honestly, probably do that a few times per month, at least once a month. So 3.1 is your ideal client survey. And for this, I have another resource for you that I want to show you guys. So if you will bear with me as I screen share really quickly. So for this resource, what I'd like you to do is actually head to byrodina.com/FBP-ideal. So again, byrodina.com/F as in freelance, B as in business, P as in plan, -ideal. Okay, and so this is going to redirect you to the ideal client survey that I've set up. It's 3 pages, and I really think that this helps you get a good idea of who your clients are, who your ideal audience is for these products and services that you're offering. Okay, so anyway, make sure that you fill this out, and this section of your business plan, section 3.1, should either include this survey or a summary of the high points in this survey, and maybe the survey is part of the appendices of your business plan, okay? Then what you want to do is take all the information that you've kind of recorded down here in the sidebar and in the main part of this, and develop what I call an ideal client brief, which is section 3.2 of your freelance business plan. So develop an ideal client brief, and what that is just basically a summary of your ideal clients, the people who you consider most likely to buy from you, who want to hear what you have to say. Just summarize just the most important points about them. You can even create a fictional name and character if you want to go along with it. Whatever helps to get that up. Just make sure you have some type of summary statement, because it's really helpful to be able to go back to that statement and or to that summary, rather, paragraphs, if you will, and kind of have your ideal reader, ideal client in mind before you write on your blog, before you create a new product, before you create a new service or package offering, before you tweet, before you do anything. It's helpful to have that person in mind, okay? So that's why that's so important. So 3.1 is your survey, 3.2 is the brief or the summary. Now section 4 of your business plan are your services. This is very simple. This is where you list all of your services. You just want to list the packages separately, any service or package separately, and make sure to record the benefits to your clients of each of those packages or services. This will really help you when it comes time to writing your marketing wording or any of your blog posts or your services pages, any of that, okay? So just do that, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 for each service or package you offer. Section 5 is very similar. It's for any freelance products you offer, okay? So 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, this is going to be any digital or physical product that you offer through your business. I would say that this is an important section to plan out into the future, maybe 6 months or more, because I think it's a really great place to record ideas as they come to you, first off, for products that you might want to develop. And I think it's important to think about it. You don't want to always just be making money off of services, in my opinion, because you have to put in a certain number of hours into a service or package in order to get a certain amount out. With a product, especially with digital products, you want to develop a few of these based on your knowledge and the skills you've learned, because even though you have to put those certain number of hours in initially to create the product, you're earning residual income and you're not doing as much maintenance and as much work, so to speak, in the moment to earn those future dollars. Okay, so I think it's important to have a product and service plan, and the products also lend to your credibility in your field. If you have an ebook, or if you have a workshop that you do, something like that, a collaboration with another person in a similar field as yours, those things make you look even more professional and more awesome in whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, that's a really serious thing. So I definitely recommend that. The next thing that's super important is section 6, business processes. I know it sounds like very, I don't know, plain and simple, but I think it's seriously one of the most important things that you can do for your business. And let me explain, or let me show you rather, where I'd like you to go and how that you can use this. So this is located at byrodina.com/FBP-workflow. And if you go there, that's going to redirect you to what you see in front of you. And I know this looks very simple, but trust me, this is a great process. Print this out and do this for every single service. Write down each task, who would complete it, whether it be your client or you or a third party or subcontractor that you have, and the time frame. So if you're making a website, you're going to put in here the initial emails back and forth between the two of you, the questionnaire that needs to be sent out, the call that you initially have to determine XYZ, the invoices that you send, every single task and process that you do to complete a service. Write it down, who it depends on, and how long it's going to take. This is going to really help you when it comes time to price your services. And also do this for products too, because even though you may just have a digital delivery going on, you want to maybe add in stuff like double checking with that client 2 weeks later when they would have had time to use your product and seeing how did they like it. Do they need any support, whatever it may be. So write that out for services and for products. But it's useful when it comes time to pricing, because you actually see, oh snap, this one service that I thought was pretty simple actually is going to take 25 hours of my time and maybe span 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because I'm waiting for customers to respond to my emails, et cetera, et cetera. So it's super important, not only so you can understand what you're doing and how much you should charge for it, but also so you can build in extra little things that make the process better for your client, whether that's sending free resources at a certain point, or following up, or whatever it may be. Just sending tweets out at a certain point, doing what you can to delight your customer and to also stay on track, right? So I think it's very important to fill out section 6 in all that detail, even though it seems annoying. Section 7 of our business plan is market analysis. And what you want to do here is basically validate your product idea, your service idea, okay? So we're in 7 again, validation, 7.1. And this means you can create a blog and gauge people's interest, or maybe you can create a landing page on your website and see how many people sign up. You can talk to people. You can form a target group of friends, family, classmates, old coworkers, any willing participant that you feel fits into your potential market. Search, you can search blogs and forums on the topic and see the types of questions people have and the needs they express. Try your service or product out on Kickstarter, or list it on Craigslist, or join Freelance or Fiverr, and just allow your the demand for your product to be proven first before you invest a bunch of money and time into the website. 7.2 is your analysis of other freelancers in the same area. And I think I used to laugh. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I used to really, really laugh at the concept of SWOT analysis, which is something that we learned in business school. Okay, SWOT analysis, and it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I hated it when we got to that section of the business plan. I just thought it was dumb, but it's not. Okay, because even though I don't feel that other freelancers are really your competition in that one sense, because they will be the ones to send you clients when they're busy, or send you projects that aren't really a good fit for them. And plus you can learn a lot from other freelancers in your space, but this is helpful. So what you would do is, I would recommend anyway, getting a list together of 5 freelance businesses that are relatively new, maybe not just starting out, but are probably within their first year of operation, okay? And then also get a list of 5 freelancers that are really in an exciting space that you want to move into. Maybe they're hosting multiple workshops per year, they're doing the darn thing, whatever, okay? So 5 in the similar space, 5 in this advanced space, if you will. And then you're going to do the SWOT analysis. So you're going to look at the strengths. What is the strength? What are the strengths of each brand, of each freelancer? What is it that they're doing really, really well right now? Weaknesses, obviously, the opposite of that. Like, where are they lacking? Maybe you see clients or whatever complaining that, you know, you never respond to my blog comments or whatever it may be. So look into anything that could be a perceived weakness. Opportunities. If you were in their shoes, what would you be doing differently? What opportunities would you be taking advantage of to grow your freelance business? And then finally, the T is for threats. What areas are they so weak in that it's actually a threat? Somebody else could come along and scoop up that space. So with certain brands, that may just be that they haven't established a real identifiable brand yet. And that is something that's scary, because anyone can move into a space when you don't have something specific about you that is identifiable, it's, you know, recognizable, and it actually makes a difference. It stands out to your audience. Okay, so that's kind of the SWOT analysis of other freelancers in the same area or genre or whatever that you are in. Okay, so section 8 is customer strategy. 8.1 there on our business plan. What's that thing called again that we're doing a webinar on? Is client acquisition. And this, I feel, is one of the most important things that you can do, that you can plan out, okay? So it is literally what it sounds like. How am I going to acquire clients? You need an actual plan. I'd recommend, not just because I wrote it, I promise. I'd recommend the article on my site called 30 Ways to Find Your First Clients. Which you can find at byregina.com/find-your-first-clients. Anyway, this has what I consider 30 pretty unique or to really get out there and find your first clients. I would pull from this. I would pull from your own creativity, pull from what you've seen other people do, and write strategy, an actual list here in client acquisition of how you will acquire your first clients and how you will keep acquiring clients. Okay, super important. For those of you who have my Grow Your Blog with Social Media e-kit on pages 8, 9, 10, and 11, check out those non-social media ways to spread your brand and acquire clients. Okay. Section 8.2, client retention. So once you've worked with a client once, how will you keep them? How will you convince them to ever spend money with you again? How will you kind of convince them that you're worth referring to other people? Do you even have any follow-up products or services that would interest them or that you could sell to them? So whether you set up a follow-up email plan 1 month out, 2 months out, et cetera, or here's one I really, really like, okay? Make a private Twitter list that just has past clients on it or past and current clients on it, and make sure that you have a set schedule in your mind or in reality through Buffer or something like that, Hootsuite. Tweet them every so often on some specific schedule. You could share extra resources with them that you think they might like. You could just say hi, you could be funny, you could respond to some of their tweets, you could retweet them. Do some type of interaction with them at a certain schedule. Not saying that everything needs to be so scheduled out and mechanical, but it helps to set a schedule in place, and then it'll become a natural thing, okay? So that would be client retention. Whatever you decide to do, whether it be my secret Twitter list idea or something else, make sure you have a plan in place to retain clients, okay? And then 2 more sections, and then we are almost there, and I'm still looking for questions if you guys have any. Anyway. Section 9 is promotion. 9.1 is your social media strategy. And literally here, you just want to decide which platforms you're going to use and what you're going to use each platform for. And I think the main thing to keep in mind, 2 main things. One is you're going to have different audience members on different platforms. And even if they're all on the same platforms, they're going to be using each one for different things, okay? So don't post the same stuff to Instagram that you're posting to Google Plus necessarily. Sometimes it'll fit, sometimes it won't, okay? That's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind with your social media strategy is that there are no rules. I keep saying that. I keep saying that everywhere I can. There are no rules in social media. There is etiquette. There is common courtesy and logic, okay, wisdom, but there aren't rules. So if you want to use it in some way that you have not seen used before, or if you want to break a rule and tweet at a time where they said don't tweet, or the marketers told you don't pin that kind of content, and you just want to try it out anyway, and it's not completely crazy, okay, then try it, okay? Because that is honestly, it's part of what I've seen help grow my own brand and so many other people's brands so much recently, is just doing something different on social media, whatever it occurs to you. The reality is that you are probably a part of your own ideal audience. You've either been where they've been, or you're currently where they are. And if it's attractive to you, if it's good to you, if it makes sense to you, if it's funny to you, it's likely funny to your audience. So just keep that in mind and try new things. 9.2 is your online strategy, non-social media stuff. Okay, so this might be your email list, press releases, business listings on, on websites, Google listing, Yahoo listing, so on and so forth, Yelp, deal sites like Groupon, a blog tour, any online strategy that you plan to use that's not your traditional social media. Record it in section 9.2, live it, do it, own it, all that good stuff. And then 9.3 is your offline strategy. And I think this is honestly just as important as, well, I don't know if I do think it's just as important, but it's pretty important to have some type of offline strategy, okay? So you might sponsor a club, you might hand out flyers at a local continuing ed class, you might teach the continuing education class. Just write down what you're gonna do offline to spread your brand in a classy way. That word is for you, Erica Madden of Olivia.co, classy. I just feel like you're such a classy person. Anyway, and you use that word. And section 10, financials. This is the last section, and I have one last download for you guys. It's actually another Google Doc, and if you go to byregina.com/FBP-budgets, it's going to redirect you to this page. And I wanted to show you how I would use this if I were you. So again, that's FBP. I can't type, pretend like I know what I'm doing up in here. FBP/budgets, okay? And again, that's gonna redirect you to this Google Doc that you can copy into your own. So the way I would use this, and it has tabs down at the bottom of the different sheets. Monthly expenses, obviously, that's kind of self-explanatory. Delete any of these that don't fit and add whatever you need to. So literally just write what it is, the amount, who you're spending it with, GoDaddy.com, whoever it is, the date, any notes that you want to record about it, and then the category that you would put it into. So you're going to do that for your monthly expenses. Also, hey, somebody just hopped on. Look, anonymous hippo. Anyway, sorry. Startup expenses. So this is, if you're just forming, this would be a great sheet to make sure you're not going over budget and you're getting everything that you need to, and just planning out how much this thing is going to cost you, okay? So website domain, hosting, any licenses and permits, your insurance, so on and so forth. And then the last category here that I have on this sheet is for your production budget. So what this might sound silly at first, but what this is literally every single service that you're offering or product that you're making, make a budget for it. So if you are needing to buy plugins for WordPress or stock photography for your client's project or whatever it is, write down every single item, what it costs you, vendor, et cetera, and keep accurate records of how much these are costing you, because you want to know how expensive are these projects and products and services to actually produce. So keep that for all of your main packages and services in section 10.3 for your production budget, okay? So that is it. That's the entire, this is kind of like the quick overview business plan, if you will. So if you guys have questions, I would love to hear them. If you didn't get a chance to ask them here, then totally tweet me or email me afterwards. But yeah, so that is how I would form a freelance business plan. And I highly, highly, highly recommend keeping this, updating it frequently, and checking it out at least once a month, okay? So I hope that was helpful. If not, you can angry tweet me on Twitter at byreginatv, or if you have any follow-up questions, you can send them via email, regina@byregina.com, okay? Thank you so much, you guys.